Imagine the place where the mountains touch the clouds, the deserts shimmer with gold at dawn, and in ancient cities echoes of millennial stories are still heard.
Sounds like a scene from fantasy?
Welcome to Pakistan is a country that the world for some reason stubbornly ignores. I have been a lot of where, but Pakistan is a rare case when reality surpasses all expectations.
There is everything here, mountains from which are breathtaking. Take at least K2 as the second peak of the planet.
She is even cooler than Everest, if you ask the climbers. The lakes have such a shade of turquoise that it seems as if they were painted manually. Lake Atabad, for example, appeared only 10 years ago due to landslide and now it is a must-see. Deserts where snow lies in winter.
Yes, in Pakistan there are cold deserts, this rarely you will see.
Cities with history of a couple of thousand years. Lahore is like Istanbul, only with even more atmospheric streets and spices.
And here is an incredibly tasty food, try birch or chapel kebab, and people who meet you as an old friend.
Yes, they write different things in the news, but in fact Pakistan is one of the most hospitable countries where I had a chance to visit. If you are looking for a place where there are no crowds of tourists, but there are adventures, culture and beauty, Pakistan is waiting. And believe me, after this trip you will talk about him to all your friends.
2. Historical heritage, journey through millennia. Imagine you have a time machine. In Pakistan, it will not be needed, here the story comes to life at every step.
Ancient than the pyramids 3,300 years before our era, when in Egypt they were just starting to think about the first pyramids, life was already in full swing in the valley of the Indus River.
The civilization of the Indus Valley is one of the 3 oldest on the planet.
Especially impressive is Mohenjo-Daro, the Hill of the Dead. Walking among the brick ruins, it is easy to imagine how people lived here 4,500 years ago. Surprisingly, some technologies of that time, for example, water supply system, were more advanced. Traces of the great conquerors in the 4th century BC, Alexander Macedonian came here. His warriors mined pink salt in the shrubs of Habur, and surprisingly, these mines are still working. And in the 1st century of our era, the Buddhist civilization of Gandhara blossomed here. The monastery of Takhti Bahi is best a preserved monument of that era. Its walls are remembered by the prayers of the monks, when Buddhism was just beginning to spread in Asia.
Medieval greatness. Let's move to the 14th century.
In the city of Sindh, Mokli is located, the largest necropolis in the world. Its area is 10 times higher than the famous Egyptian cemeteries. Walking among the mausoleums, you feel the time slowing down.
Each stone here is a page of history.
3. Natural miracles, where the earth concerns the sky. If nature decided to arrange a beauty contest, Pakistan would take all prizes. Here, landscapes are gathered on the square of one country, for the sake of which half glides would have to go around in other parts of the world.
Roof of the world. Where else can you see the 3 greatest mountain systems at the same time?
The Himalayas, Karakoram and Hindu Kush converge here, like the gigantic folds of the Earth's crust.
K2, Chogori, is not just a figure on the map. This 8,000-sized beauty is considered the most complex peak in the world.
Locals call her a killer mountain, but climbers dream of returning here. Lakes that you do not believe your eyes. In the 2010 years, the giant landslide blocked the Hunza River, creating Lake Atabad. Today, his turquoise waters stretched for 20-1 kilometers framed by steep cliffs.
The best view opens from the Hussaini Suspension Bridge. The adrenaline is guaranteed. No less impressive Shangri-La, yes, as in a legend. A perfectly round lake with a resort in the Pakistani style. And in Deosai, the land of giants, in the summer whole carpets of wildflowers bloom at an altitude of 4,000 meters. Deserts that will surprise you. Imagine a desert where, in winter, the temperature drops to -20, in the summer you can see a mirage in the form of snow peaks. Camels rave past the Buddhist ruins. This is a scarlet, a cold desert at an altitude of 2,200 meters. And in Khalistan, the golden dunes hide the ancient Fort Daravar with 40 bastions, like a decoration for Star Wars. Surprise of nature, in the Hingal National Park, mud volcanoes are adjacent to the Princess of Hope, a rock similar to a woman in ancient clothes. They say that if you make a desire at dawn, it will certainly come true. For cities and culture, where the story comes to life, have you ever felt as if stepping into the past? In Pakistani cities, this happens on every corner.
Here, modernity is intertwined with traditions so closely that it is sometimes difficult to understand in which century you are. Lahore, Pakistan's heart. This city is a real-time machine. Walking around the old city, you hear the ringing of the rickshaw mixing with the azan from the ancient mosques. You will see how copper dishes are minted in the 5th-generation workshops in the same way as 300 years ago. Try pay, sharp soup of lamb legs, in establishments that work from the era of the great Mughals. Badshahi Mosque, business card of the city. Her yard accommodates 100,000 people. And in the evening, be sure to look at the tomb of Jahangir. In the light of torches, she looks magical. Karachi is a city of contrasts. The largest metropolis of the country will surprise you. Clifton Beach, where wealthy Pakistanis ride camels. The Bori Bazaar Market, where you can buy anything from spices to satellite antennas. Neon signs adjacent to colonial mansions. Peshawar, crossroads of civilizations. This city on the border with Afghanistan retained the spirit of the Great Silk Road. Is Kisakani, Storyteller's Street, perhaps the last place in Asia where you can still hear epic poems to the accompaniment of ruboba. The advice from the experienced: in Pakistani cities it is better to navigate the smells. The aroma of freshly baked naans will bring you to the best bakery, and the tart smell of cardamom into the perfect tea house. 5. Taste of Pakistan, culinary odyssey. If all the cuisines of the world gathered for the holiday, Pakistan would have come in the brightest outfit. Here food is not just a meal, but a real art, where the traditions of Mughals, Punjab recipes and Arab notes mixed. Table King biryani. This is not just pilaf, but a symbol of hospitality. In Karachi it is prepared with seafood. Saffron and dried fruits are added in the lahir. Peshawara makes a white option with yogurt and mint. Secret? The meat and rice languish together in a clay pot for 6 to 8 hours on the coals. Try in the restaurant Burji in Lahore. There they retained the recipe for the 16th century. Street magic on every corner. You are waiting for you. Chapli ko barbecued cake with minced meat, which hisses in a hot pan. Halapur champions breakfast, lentils, eggs and cakes. Gola ganda is an unexpected dessert, ice shavings with pink syrup and beans. Yes, it's delicious. Tea ceremonies. Pakistanis drink tea 5 to 7 times a day. Especially good, Kashmiri tea pink, with pistachios and cardamom. Dud patty milk, which is boiled to a creamy consistency. Why itself, mountain tea with salt and oil. For amateur tip: in the Little Dabak Diner, look for lines from the locals. There will be the most authentic and safe treat. And do not refuse the second tea, this can offend the owner. 6. Life hacks for travelers. How to feel at home. Pakistan is a country where the rules of the game differ from the usual tourist routes. But this is what makes the journey so valuable. Here are proven tips that will save your nerves and wallet. Transport, between extreme and exotic. Between the cities, choose Daewoo Express, buses with air conditioning and Wi-Fi, or night trains with a business class, reserved seats with curtains. Inside the cities, Kareem, local Uber, or rickshaw, but bargaining hard. The starting price for tourists is usually 3 times over 3 times. In mountainous areas, only 4x4 jeeps with trusted drivers. Ask for contacts in the guest house. Safety rules that work. Carry with you a copy of the passport and visa. Store the originals in the safe. After 2200 hours, only by taxi in the northern regions. Gilgit-Baltistan, register with the local police. This is a formality, but mandatory. Special etiquette. Clothing. Even at plus 40 degrees Celsius, men should not walk in shorts. Women in tight-fitting clothes. Free shirt and trousers are ideal. Photography. Always ask for permission, especially when shooting women and religious rites. Tips: 50-100 rupees, $0.3 to 0.6, in restaurants, 10% of the taxi amount. Communication and the internet. The best operator is Zone. For G. Even in the mountains, WhatsApp and Skype work without VPN. In remote areas, by local SIM, passport is not required. The main secret: get Vastu, friend, among the locals. The Pakistanis adore guests and will gladly show the real Pakistan. They will invite tea, they will be taken to places hidden from tourists, and perhaps they will even introduce the family. Just be open to communication. 7. Seasonality and routes. When and where to go. Pakistan is a country that radically changes depending on the time of year. Choosing the right season means getting completely different travel experience. The best time to visit October-April golden time, in the north, Gilgit-Baltistan, plus 15 degrees Celsius during the day, ideal for trekking in the deserts of Khalistan plus 25 degrees Celsius instead of summer plus 50 degrees Celsius and Lahore and Karachi plus 20 to 25 degrees Celsius without a debilitating heat. May-September for extremes, passes are opened in the mountains, Karakoram-Skrishas, in the south, Sindh, Baluchistan, hell heat up to plus 55 degrees Celsius in the shade Musson in Punjab, beautiful, but humid. Ready routes 7 days for beginners, Islamabad, Faisal Mosque plus Lak Versa Market, Lahore, 2 days, Old City plus Fort plus food tour, train to Karachi, beach plus Mausoleum Jelans, flight to Gilgit, Hunza Valley, 2 days. 14 days for adventure seekers, Peshawar, day on the border with Afghanistan, taxi through the Sandar Pass, Highland Polo, 4 days in Hilgit Baltian, ferry Medagaz, Lake Atabad, Khalistan, night in the desert at Fort Daravar, Multan, Sufi shrines plus blue ceramic workshops. 21 days for fans of history, Mohenjo-Daro, ancient civilization, Tact, Buddhist ruins, Kveta, British colonial architecture, Hingle, 3 days to the National Park plus coast of Makran. Tip, in the high season, October-November, book hotels in Huns and Skard in 2 to 3 months. The ghost houses by Lake Atabad are often filled with spontaneous tourists, come by 10 in the morning. Important. In Ramadan, the work schedule is changing, museums are closed earlier, restaurants do not work during the day, except for tourists, but evening iftars are an amazing experience. 8. Hidden Pearls, places that are not written in guidebooks. Pakistan is a country where the most amazing discoveries are waiting on the sidelines from the beaten paths. Here are places that only locals and the most curious travelers know. Kailash, the lost valley of animists. The mysterious tribe of Kailashi, the last pagans of Pakistan, lives in the mountains of Hindu Kusha. Their villages in the Bombarat Valley seem to be a decoration for a fairy tale. Wooden houses with carved balconies, women in black woolen dresses with incredible hats. Ancient sacred groves, where they still make rituals of sacrifice. How to get 8 hours on a jeep from Chitral. The best time is June, when the Chilmash festival with dancing and ritual wine is taking place. Kadas Raj, a sacred pond of tears, 2.5 hours from Islamabad's drive, hidden Hindu temple complex of the 12th century. According to legend, the pond here was formed from the tears of the god Shiva. Even in 40-degree heat, water remains ice. What is special? 7 interconnected temples in perfect safety underground tunnels, available for inspection, the only place in Pakistan where flowers for puja are freely sold. Shahamdan Bridge in the Middle Ages in the heart of Muzaffarabad is the only mosque in the world, completely built without nails, 500-year-old cedar columns, manual carving covered with pure gold. A special acoustic effect, a whisper in Mihrab, is heard in any corner. Secret, come at dawn when the first rays of the sun penetrate through 81 carved window. Haran Stone Forest 70 kilometers from Islamabad is a geological miracle, a valley of stone pools, reminiscent of Cappadocia in miniature. Local believe that this is a petrified army of the genies. What to do? Climbing rocks. There are routes for beginners, overnight in the cave, local guides are organized with carpets and dinner, search for fossils, some age of 40 million years. Havadar, turquoise paradise. While everyone is going to Karachi, smart travelers fly to this coastal town, where, Kun Malir beach with watercolor. Fishing villages, where for $5 you will be prepared in a Belugian catch. A unique phenomenon is see stars when the waves glow at night. Tip, rent a motorcycle and examine the coast. Every 5 kilometers the landscape is dramatically changing. Important, it is better to go to these places with a local accompanying person. Not because of safety, but because otherwise you simply will not find the real magic of these places. Many of them are not even indicated on Google cards. 9. Living meetings, how to communicate with local and not get into a mess. In Pakistan, your most valuable experience is not landscapes, but people. Here, every random acquaintance can invite you to tea, wedding, or even to visit the family. But there are nuances. Gesture language that everyone will understand. Tea party, bring your hand to your mouth, as if holding an invisible bowl, they will immediately understand you. No, thank you. A light shake of the head left and right, but not like in India. Photo? First show the camera, then draw from the eye to the object with an index finger. 5 situations to be prepared for. You will be invited to visit strangers, this is the norm. You can politely refuse, but once it is worth agreeing. Bring fruits or sweets as a gift.
They will be raised with questions about personal life. Married? Why not? How many children? Do not be offended, this is a manifestation of interest. They will ask to take pictures, especially in the northern regions. You can offer to make a joint selfie. They will feed to the dump, leave a little food on the plate, otherwise they will add again. They will talk about politics. It is better to smile neutrally. I'm a tourist, I like everything here. What surprises Pakistanis and tourists? That you are traveling alone, especially women, that you don't want to marry/get married at the age of 30. What can you eat with your hands, but only right, what to wear, local clothes, they adore it. Golden rule, when you do not know what to do, just smile. Pakistanis forgive any mistakes if they see that you are trying to respect their traditions. Remember one phrase on Urdu, Aapi kasath masosos karna acha lagta hai, I am pleased to be with you, this will reveal hundreds of doors to you. 10. Final guide, your suitcase for Pakistan. When collecting things in this amazing country, remember, here it is not so much appreciated by technical preparation as the flexibility of thinking. Your baggage is a balance between comfort and respect for local traditions. The main thing in hand luggage: a medicine cabinet wisely, Imodium Plus probiotic spray with chlorhexidine, for handling hands and fruits, hydrogen peroxide in a pencil, for scratches. An obvious must-have, wet toilet paper. It is not in public toilets. Business cards with your data, they are willingly taken instead of entries on the phone. Flashlight, frequent shutdown of light. Clothing, practical and appropriate for women, 2 to 3 long scarves, they can cover your head, shoulders, or use as a bedspread. Light Afghani trousers, sold on the spot for $3, sports shoes that are not marked. For men, long-sleeve shirts made of fast-drying fabric. Hotel shorts, on the street in them is uncomfortable. Sandli Ateba, both for the mosque and for mountain trails. Technical life hacks: a portable socket for 3 connectors, they are always missing in hotels. Power bank for 20,000 mAh, in the mountains they may not charge for 2 to 3 days. Old button phone, for local SIM and camping conditions. That you don't need to take expensive photographic equipment, attracts extra attention. Books, better load on your phone, save weight. A bunch of cosmetics, local henna and oils will be provided with you. Chip, buy saffron socks in place. Woolen, bright, perfectly warm in the mountains and become an excellent souvenir. Cost about $2. Your main baggage? Empty bag. You will definitely want to take away pink salt from Haber cashmere tea in gift boxes, manual embroidery from the matchmaker, spices in vacuum packages. Now you are ready for real Pakistan, a country where every day will give you not just impressions, but real revelations. It remains to make the most difficult thing, to buy a ticket. Do not forget about the useful services that we indicate in the fixed comments. Subscribe to the channel, like it. Good rest for everyone.